The real reason WWE canceled WrestleMania location. Man, they in some hot water. They in some hot waters. So I'll say this. Triple H, Nick Khan, TKO, WWE, Endeavor, whoever's associated with it, this better be good. This better be a good reason. I understand that you guys offered up Money in the Bank 2026 as a tribute, okay? But that's not going to atone for your sins. The fans are not going to let this go. And in saying that, in between now and a couple months after WrestleMania 42, if any of your shows, Raw, SmackDown, or whatever, is anywhere near or in the city of New Orleans, expect the fans to make their voices known. They gonna say stuff. Every person I know from New Orleans will tell you exactly what's on their mind. And have you forgotten that they got S-class voodoo doctors out there? Have you seen the people at the Super Bowl stabbing little voodoo dolls and stuff like that? I'm not inciting anything. I'm not saying anyone should do anything. All I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying what I'm saying, okay? Now, if you stay out there, you might want to stay at a church or something like that and just pray to God every day. But at the end of the day, the way y'all did the people in New Orleans, kind of dirty, man. It's kind of dirty. But anyway, let's see what they got to say in the video. Hit the like and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Yeah, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why WrestleMania is cancelled in New Orleans. Vince McMahon is unhappy with the way WWE is run, and now not on speaking terms with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. A shocking name wants to return to WWE.
Who asked him? Who asked Vince McMahon? Oh, like who are the people that's constantly getting Vince McMahon news? Like I don't want to be subscribed to Vince McMahon Digest. Okay, Vince Daily. I don't want to be subscribed to that. Why do they keep asking him stuff?
Did WWE spoil major returns? Goldberg's ready for his final match, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlemania XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story.
Oh man.
Now, first story looks at WrestleMania Cancelled. Now, our top story today takes a look at the latest news when it comes to WrestleMania 42. Yesterday, in a shocking development, it was reported by WrestleNomics that WrestleMania 42 will no longer be taking place in New Orleans.
That is crazy.
Despite announcement earlier this year, WrestleMania will not take place in New Orleans in 2026, according to a statement provided Thursday to WrestleNomics. The statement provided that the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation indicates the event is being rescheduled to a later, unspecified year. New Orleans was announced as a 2026 host city in February during a segment on SmackDown featuring The Rock Dwayne Johnson revealing the location. It's kind of funny though, now we have two Rock segments that have been pointless. It was also claimed that the New Orleans...
I was just saying that in my other video. As of lately, The Rock in WrestleMania doesn't have any good juju as of lately. Always something bad comes out of it so far. And it's not The Rock's fault, but he gets wrapped up in it.
Will now host Money in the Bank 2026 with a date for that specific event yet to be confirmed. Following this report, there was rampant speculation on social media on where WrestleMania 42 can now take place. It was even reported that some believe that the show was heading across the pond, with fans firmly believing that the WWE's biggest show of the year was heading to London.
Where'd they get that from?
Many also speculated that Triple H was going to actually hold WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, as they already have the Royal Rumble planned there for next year. Others wanted the event take place where major international markets have worked, such as France or even Belgium.
London and France would have been cool. At Saudi Arabia, I'm not trying to watch WrestleMania at 2 o'clock in the morning, bro. Like, it's too early in the morning to be watching all that. But whatever.
Where the crowd has been red hot and WrestleMania has never taken place there. However, that doesn't look to be the case. Disappointingly, a few hours after the initial news broke, it was reported by NOLA.com that Las Vegas would once again be the host of WrestleMania 42. They wrote, after the success of this year's event, the new leadership running WWE decided that they would rather hold next year's event in Las Vegas and see what response they got from fans, according to an industry official who wasn't authorized to be quoted by name. Fans are absolutely puzzled by this move, as in this era, it's virtually unprecedented for WWE to repeat WrestleMania locations for 2 consecutive years. The only time that's ever taken place is for WrestleMania 4 and 5 at the Trump Plaza, which actually turned out to be Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall. Now, WWE have yet to confirm the validity of the report, but numerous sources have now confirmed that they also heard that WrestleMania 42 will be in Vegas. And fans on social media are already making jokes, including ourselves, where we said that the WrestleMania 42 set was leaked, just with different colors. Seriously, I really wouldn't put it past WWE to reuse the same set as last year.
Nah, they gotta redesign it. Do something, man. That would be crazy if the set was beautiful in person when I went, but don't do this. That would be so messed up.
However, they could go outside the box with a big slot machine this time. Also, we're going to hear Fiend for the 900th time. And naturally, there's a lot of anger from fans who've had planned to attend next year's event in New Orleans. New Orleans is often said to be the most welcoming city for pro wrestling, and fans who attended prior WrestleMania events there said that they had an amazing time. WWE cancelling a WrestleMania location with less than 12 months notice is very rare. However, fans who are planning on attending the show may have already booked hotels and made travel arrangements, and some of these will no doubt be without a free cancellation clause.
What?
What's the real reason behind
No, WWE gotta call those hotels up, man. They gotta do something about that. They do. They really gotta do something about that for the fans who booked hotels. Like, that's crazy.
WWE changing the WrestleMania location? Whilst the majority of the blame for the WrestleMania change is being directed at TKO, there are also other factors at play here. According to journalist Andrew Baydallo over on X, the decision wasn't just made by WWE and TKO. New Orleans' decision not to host WrestleMania this year is not solely a decision made by WWE. The decision could very well be influenced by infrastructure issues involving the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and New Orleans and Company. These issues may include various factors such as funding, security, facilities, and more. Now the conversation becomes who is going to be able to afford and support this year's WrestleMania.
Hold on, what? That doesn't make any sense if this is true. Because I would think as two businesses, right? When you sign a dotted line, I'm sure in the paperwork they have everything ironed out. Why, after announcing it, are they talking about funding, security, facilities, and more? Wouldn't that all be within the contract? Shouldn't all of that stuff be prepared ahead of time? I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth, but if it is, that is as big as a company as Endeavor and TKO is. That's kind of business 101, right? Unless I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't you all have to have all of this stuff ironed out before you even proceed in advertising things and paying money to do certain things? Like, what? I don't understand. It got to be something else. This can't be it.
Yeah, but there's also another reason. As according to PW Insider, WWE is now expected to hold multiple major events annually in Las Vegas, not just WrestleMania. This news was also confirmed by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, saying that the plan is now to run WrestleMania on a regular basis in the city, not necessarily every year, but frequently. Funny enough, the location also plays a key part to TKO and Nick Khan, as key TKO executives reside there and WWE President Nick Khan grew up in the area. The sheer costs that cities must endure putting on the events such as WrestleMania are rarely discussed, so if New Orleans believes that funding as well as other factors would prevent them from hosting the event next year, it was probably in WWE's best interest to find a new location as soon as possible. And since they've already had a well-established run last year, why not just do the same? The only problem again is people shelling out another 40 grand for front row tickets. What do you guys think of this huge change? Would you guys like to see WrestleMania in Vegas again? Next up, a huge match.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, I don't understand that. Like none of it has to be something else. This is not making sense. This is not making any sense at all. You would think businesses, multi-million, billion-dollar businesses, will have more sense when it comes to this type of stuff. So this can't be the truth. Now, huge match plan for Money in the Bank. Let's see what this is.
For Money in the Bank. WWE is set to host their annual Money in the Bank show next month, and it looks like WWE have a mega match planned for the broadcast. It was reported yesterday that Travis Scott could be wrestling on the show, and then PW Insider followed this.
No, I don't know. No, please. I thought the Crossroads was the end of this. I thought it ended it. Oh my God, bro. I'm going to have to try to detox hearing Fiend 5,000 times again, dude. And it's not that I hate the song. I just couldn't get it out of my head ever since leaving WrestleMania. I just couldn't. Oh my God, man. This is nuts. And just the way that even I don't know Travis Scott, but even the way that he just, I don't know, man. He just doesn't mesh well with wrestlers in the ring, I feel like. Even when he took the Crossroads and Cody Rhodes was trying to kick him out of the ring, whatever.
Report up by stating that Scott could be teaming up with John Cena and Logan Paul to take on Cody Rhodes and the Usos. But PWInsider.com can further report that the pitch for a potential six-man tag at Money in the Bank would have seen Logan Paul teaming with Cena and Scott, presumably against the Usos and Cody. Whether WWE goes in that direction remains to be seen. But the match seems incredibly random and out of nowhere, and this would naturally require Rhodes to return to television and Paul to form some kind of connection with Cena and Travis Scott. WWE have just 2 weeks to build to this match, so unless they use Saturday night's main event tomorrow to set up the match is sadly going to suffer from a lack of build.
Yo, I'm telling you this, to put Logan Paul with Travis Scott and John, they are trying to annoy the mess out of the fans. That is the faction where you are purposely trying to troll and annoy the fans. There is no other reason for that faction to exist. Now, I get it. They want to do a 6-man tag match with the current World Heavyweight Champion. I get that. But with the two being on two different brands, why do they have to... Okay, I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe they got something interesting down the pipeline. I don't know. I don't work there.
Reaction to this news on social media is extremely negative, and it's easy to see why. Fans are questioning if using one of Cena's final ever matches and his final ever appearance at Money in the Bank in a random 6-man tag team with Travis Scott and Logan Paul is the best use of his limited dates. Scott's planned WWE work is already receiving eye rolls from fans, especially with how the now infamous WrestleMania 41 appearance was handled. There were rumors at one stage that WWE would be running back Cena vs CM Punk at Money in the Bank. Due to their established history at the event, it would have been an incredible story to run their feud back, but this time with the roles reversed. However, it was widely reported last week that the match isn't planned for the show and that the two names are destined for other matches.
David, that's to SummerSlam,
WWE
please.
Spoil major returns.
Whoa. Let me skip this. I'm not trying to figure this out. All right, let's hear what Vince McMahon got to say for whatever reason.
Stephanie McMahon. According to a former WWE personality, Jonathan Coachman, Vince McMahon is unhappy with the way WWE
Jonathan Coachman, another person. Yo, what? All right. Let's hear what he got to say. I don't want to be like that.
According to Coachman on Behind the Turnbuckle, McMahon isn't just unhappy with the way WWE is operating, he's also not on speaking terms with Stephanie or Triple H. So I also got some other information concerning Vince and how he's not happy with what's going on in WWE right now, as you can imagine. Reportedly, remember at WrestleMania when Triple H and Stephanie brought everyone out front to show who's running things? Well, apparently Vince hasn't spoken to either of them since the board vote when they had to decide whether to keep him or send him out, and he won't speak to them. They both voted no. Coachman would then boldly claim that Shane McMahon is the only one Vince is still close with, and Coachman even suggested that former chairman could buy back WWE from TKO. It feels to me like Shane, who sided with Vince on several occasions, might be the only one he's still close with. And we all know Vince's history with Triple H. He despises him. Vince was once quoted saying there's too many McMahons in the kitchen, referring to Triple H. Now just imagine this. Triple H
can't even have his own last name? That's crazy.
Really didn't even show up on the financials. He's making so little compared to others. What if Vince, seeing all this infighting and dysfunction, decided to step back in and buy WWE back from TKO? Could you imagine that? Vince reclaiming WWE? Now, while some may question Coachman's validity, Coachman still has a plethora of friends backstage in WWE, so he definitely knows a lot of information related to these kinds of topics. But the idea of McMahon buying back his old company would be insane. This is pro wrestling after all, where nothing can truly ever be ruled out. Next up, Goldberg training for his final match. Goldberg is set to have his final pro wrestling match at some point in 2025. Whilst the date for the match is unknown, there are rumors that the match could take place in Saudi Arabia next month, or even potentially at SummerSlam in August. Speaking on the CarCast podcast, the WWE Hall of Famer stated that he's now training ahead of his final match, and he added that he's got some time left to get ready, which implies that the final match won't be in the immediate future. I'm doing good, I'm feeling a little bit better. I've gained a little bit of weight, and I've done a little kickboxing on the weekends. I am getting there, man. Got a little bit of time left, but you know, slowly but surely, Rome wasn't built in a day. Fans are convinced that Goldberg will cost Gunther his world title match on Raw next month, and this will act as a continuation of their angle from Bad Blood, as well as set up Goldberg versus the Ring General for Goldberg's final ever matchup. And finally, a shocking name wants a WWE return. Now, final story today takes a look at a new interview from former WWE star Mr. Kennedy, and in the interview, the former US champion discusses his interest in a potential WWE return. Kennedy departed from WWE back in 2009 on bad terms, and there's been no rumblings whatsoever on Kennedy potentially being brought back. However, during a new interview with Chris Van Vliet, Kennedy revealed that he is indeed interested in having another run in the promotion. I didn't want to. I swear to God, I had no desire. I think I never wanted to blow the bridge up completely, but I really had no desire. When I was at TNA, I was like, I'll never go back there. I'll never work for them again. Now it's changed. I would definitely go back now. Yeah, and I think the animosity was, instead of looking at myself, I was looking at this person did this, and that person did that. And they screwed me. Then at some point I realized I played a hand, a huge hand in all of that. Now, it seems unlikely that WWE would be interested in bringing Kennedy back full-time.
Dang,
The roster is
you gonna just shut down the man's dream? Let the man dream, okay?
already stacked. However, Kennedy making a cameo in a future Royal Rumble would be a welcome move, and would no doubt receive a great reaction from the crowd. Would you guys want to see him back?
I'm just playing. I know they wouldn't hire him back for full-time, but I mean, if he is full-time, it'll be interesting to see him as a manager as opposed to a full-time wrestler, and there's no way I would see him getting a championship. But yeah, this whole Las Vegas thing, this whole New Orleans thing, it's all a mess. Like, I can't wait to really know the real truth behind it, because I hope that it's not as messy as Wrestlemania put out in front of us right now, because that, honestly, as a business would be embarrassing, because it just seems like you were nonchalant. You didn't really think about this. You didn't cross all your T's and dot all your I's as you should as a multi-billion-dollar business. So I don't know, man. I'm sorry for the people in New Orleans, the ones who had this planned out, or the people who booked their hotels and can't get a cancellation fee. I'm hoping WWE will figure that out. But yeah, it sucks for you guys, man. To be able to have WrestleMania in your backyard is pretty cool. And I've seen people say like, oh, well, they had WrestleMania multiple times before, but it doesn't mean they don't deserve to have it. They've had the Super Bowl there multiple times before. Doesn't mean they don't deserve to have it either. So now, first, Lil Wayne couldn't perform at the Super Bowl. Now y'all getting WrestleMania taken away from you guys. And now y'all just lost y'all quarterback. He just retired this year. Man, New Orleans cannot live, bro. They can't live. What is going on, man? But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much.